is the Discover Card Countdown to Green as we get ready to go racing.
NASCAR started racing on the dirt at Martinsville in 1949. They paved the track in 1955. And today, the Winston Cup Series rumbles into town ready for a short track attack. The final lap at Homestead is just 1,875.5 miles away. And the simple half mile at Martinsville could be the hardest part of the trip. Buckle up, Virginia. The countdown to the championship is at 5. The Martinsville Speedway. This short track could go a long way toward determining the next Winston Cup champion. Sure, it shows the rugged signs of age, but no track is tougher than Martinsville. But Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin are just as tough as the track. Wallace knows how it feels to be a champion. Martin knows the disappointment of falling just short. Throughout their careers, both have shown their talents on the tenacious short tracks. Today, these two come to this tiny track with big dreams. Leaders in their sport trying to catch the leader of the pack. But Tony Stewart knows all about winning in Martinsville and a little bit about winning championships. Now just 5 races remain, and the short list has come to the short track, with everyone hoping their championship chances do not go up in smoke. Sports is live in Martinsville as Old Navy presents the Old Dominion 500 for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. 86,000 fans will be packed in around this treasured antique. They have come to see a good old-fashioned short track race where on occasion the fists will fly before the checkered flag does.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 Marine Corps Harriers from Cherry Point, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, for those most famous words in all of motorsports, welcome Mike Dietrich, General Manager of Pepsi-Cola.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And now the Walmart starting grid for today's Old Dominion 500. Ryan Newman and Jeff Gordon on the front row. Gordon, 3 wins here at Martinsville.
On the inside of row 2 is Bill Elliott. And on the outside, Ward Burt from just in South Boston, down the road not too far.
6-time Martinsville winner Rusty Wallace trying to get off the Schneid in 2002. Goes from row number 3 with Joe Nemechek.
On the inside of row 4 is Jimmy Johnson, who didn't run that badly here in the first race, but finished 35th. And Hermie Sadler, his first NASCAR Winston Cup qualifying in the top 10.
Mike Skinner, Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to come from row number 5 today. You saw the practice incident Mike had with Jeff Burton yesterday. Johnny Benson and Robbie Gordon lined up in row number 6. Benson finished 6th in this race 1 year ago.
And on the inside of row 7 is Kevin Harvick. Let's try to talk to Kevin and get his thoughts. Kevin Harvick, Benny Parsons, you got me?
Do it again. Do it again.
Let's try it again. Kevin Harvick, Benny Parsons, you got me? We'll have to try him a little bit later.
You know that old saying about the best plans? There you go. Dale Jarrett, Steve Park back in row number 8. Getting set for the green. Matt Kenseth, Ricky Rudd will line up in row number 9. Rudd with 3 wins here at Martinsville.
And on the inside of row 10 is Ted Musgrave. Been running the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series the last couple of races, last couple of years. Good qualifying run for him.
400th Winston Cup start for Jimmy Spencer today, and Casey Atwood with his 5th Martinsville race.
Bobby Hamilton, we said every time, but he always runs well at Martinsville. And Jeremy Mayfield.
One problem for Hamilton. Engine change. He and the 44 car being driven by Steve Grissom will drop to the back of the line.
And here on the inside of row 14, another sub for the 40 car, Mike Bliss. Since Jimmy McMurray, the winner last week, has to be in Memphis today.
Tony Stewart, Winston Cup Championship leader, row 16. He's in the danger zone.
Perry Labonte has finished third, has finished second here 3 times.
Jeff Burton, former winner here at Martinsville, and his Roush teammate Kurt Busch way back in row 18. Those are the final cars qualified on time. And now to provisional land. Mikey Waltrip, Kyle Petty.
There's Elliott Sadler, John Andretti.
Kenny Wallace scheduled to be in the 23 today. He's in the Busch Series race that was rained out at Memphis yesterday that they're also running today. So Jeffrey gets the start. And there's Hideo Fukuyama, 2nd Winston Cup start in one of Travis Carter's Fords. Failed to qualify, there's the list. And as you see behind them, the field of cars is rolled out onto this Martinsville Speedway, beginning their parade and pace laps before the green flag and the start of the Old Dominion 500. Let's get some stories from pit road before we go green, and it gets real noisy down there, Matt.
Alan, before the spring race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. came to Martinsville and tested to find that missing Martinsville ingredient to a good day. He found it, finished 5th here in the spring, led 41 laps. They brought back the same exact race car, their Martinsville-only car. They start 10th, hoping for a good day. Jr. yet to win on the short track in 2002. To Dave Burns.
Matt Dale Jarrett's last 3 finishes here at Martinsville, a 4th, a 2nd, and a win last spring right here. Another win today wouldn't be a surprise, and it'd be a perfect complement to his 2 super speedway wins earlier this year at Pocono and Michigan. Marty?
Well, Dave, the quote from 2000 champ Bobby Labonte after happy hour yesterday: anything you can change on this car, go ahead and do it. They were not very good yesterday, but the good news is Bobby won here in the spring in the same exact race car he's driving today. Bill Weber?
Marty, Lee Petty won at this track in 1959 from the 24th starting spot, the deepest in the field any race winner has ever started. In fact, in the 85 races since then, only 4 times has the winner started outside the top 15. Today, Tony Stewart tries to win from 31st. By the way, the year Lee Petty won here from 24th, he also won the championship. Alan?
Tony Stewart's number was on a lot of guys' lips in the garage area this morning when I asked who had a really good race car in final practice. They think Tony's strong, but can he keep the fenders on it and get through the mayhem? 500 laps on this track that measures just over a half mile. It's actually 0.526 miles, so that's 263 miles.
We see the pit window about 150, 160 laps. Their tongues will be hanging out. They'll be wanting to stop about that to get some fresh tires on these cars. But Wally, you notice the one thing we've talked for 35 minutes now, and the one thing that we haven't mentioned that we always mention in Martinsville.
Would that be brakes?
We haven't even said the word brakes. And there's always a story before this thing's over. We've got a brake cam, Old Navy brake cam on Mike Skinner's car. We'll show you just how much abuse these things take.
One thing they got going for them today is that it's cool, and that will help them a lot.
Green flag racing at Martinsville, final short track event of the year. Newman leads lap 1. Bill Elliott sliding under Jeff Gordon for second. Now it's Ward Burton to the 24s outside.
I started to say that the inside groove looked like was the groove, the way to go, but then Ward Burton passed Jeff on the outside.
Remember, the inside lane in each of the corners was the one that the grinding was done to. The outside lane was left intact the way it was before. There's Hermie Sadler in that green, black, and orange car. 02 driver just from not far up the road in Emporia, Virginia, his hometown.
Looks like a lot of these guys, BP, I think we were talking about this morning, was the guys on the outside are trying to keep the left side in that grooved area.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the left side and move the right sides up to the racetrack that wasn't ground. This is on board the 26 Discover car of Todd Bodine. The camera is actually in the left door.
That's a great shot.
Will it last all day? Jeff Gordon going to use the outside lane. And Rusty Wallace is going to get up underneath him and pick up that spot. Uh-oh.
Left front flat.
Ricky Rudd with problems.
And Michael McSwain, the crew chief on this car, had so much optimism this morning about how well they were going to run, and now they're basically going to start the race 2 or 3 laps down. By the time he gets into the pit area, gets it changed, and gets back out.
Second place, Ward Burton diving under Bill Elliott.
And another car that's having some problems. We see smoke out of the back of Casey Atwood's car. His left rear tire is flat. Another car that needed a good run. And Wally, yesterday in practice, he was terrific.
And like you said about Ricky Rudd, he's going to go a couple laps down because of this problem.
Ryan Newman leads in the 12. Ward Burton has taken second. Bill Elliott third. Rusty Wallace fourth. And now Jeff Gordon is fifth. Dave.
Trouble prying the car up off of the ground in order to get the jack underneath it. They're still trying to do that. Now they get it under there. Scott Wolf is able to jack the car. Big disappointment for these guys because yesterday after happy hour, Ricky said, cover the car up, just warm it in the morning. It's perfect, and this will crush them. Marty?
Well, Dave, same problems for Casey Atwood. Left rear for Casey Atwood. He kind of thought it was the right rear tire. They're just going to take 2 tires here to get him on his way. Big disappointment for these guys. They were very good in happy hour. His crew chief, Tony Furr, is one of the best short track crew chiefs. Going to be a disappointing finish today there.
Here's third place. Rusty Wallace moving up.
And Rusty Wallace has been the most vocal of all the drivers about he likes this new surface. He likes the fact that it is smoother.
Well, it should be. He was the one that suggested they do it. I talked to track president Clay Campbell this morning. We'll bring you more on that in a little bit. First, let's check on your championship leader. Where's Tony at?
He's 23rd right now. Trying to go by 22nd.
Just watch these guys going into the turn, BP, and look at the air pressures in the left front. You think they all have flat tires. You run such low air pressures here at Martinsville. Get that grip.
Tony working on Mike Wallace. Picked up 8, now making 9 spots since the green flag 12 laps ago.
That silver car that we saw was Ted Musgrave. There he is on the outside of Kenny Schrader.
And that's the tough place about Martinsville racing here is you get you guys, they can run side by side for 20 laps and you can't go anywhere.
And Tony getting held up a little bit now in the traffic. So Ricky Rudd and Casey Atwood have fallen 2 laps behind the leaders as a result of their early flat tires. And there is the man who's pacing the Old Dominion 500. Ryan Newman has the early advantage. Hermie Sadler's day in the top of the leaderboard has kind of gotten put in the spin cycle. He was running 12 moments ago when he brought out the second caution of the race.
And here all the cars come down pit road. Matt, coming to you, boy.
And the guy who has the first pit stall is Robbie Gordon. He was tight in the center. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment. To Bill.
Ward Burton coming down pit road along with Rusty Wallace. Ward said, you need to snug me up a little bit, so they're going to make a track bar adjustment to try and tighten him up. 4 tires and fuel. Rusty Wallace also a little tight. Just an air pressure adjustment for him. 4 tires and fuel. Lap 43 here of 500 at Martinsville. Burns.
Ryan Newman's car is tight through the middle. If he goes higher, it gets tighter. If he goes lower, it gets looser. So they're going to make a wedge adjustment in the left rear to help that. 4 fresh tires and fuel. He's gone. Marty?
31st to 15th for points leader Tony Stewart. The car is excellent and no changes on a very fast 4-tire stock for the Home Depot team.
Let's check the cameras. They came off pit road. I believe Kevin Harvick just got 2 tires.
And Kevin Harvick comes off pit road first for whatever reason, and there we see almost a dead heat between the teammates.
Rusty's got him.
Got him by an inch.
All right, here's why the caution flag's out. Green car, Hermie Sadler.
And around it goes.
Got behind on his steering.
Got behind and spun, and Martinsville didn't hit anything.
Pretty good, huh?
Takes talent.
Special.
He was running 12th at the time.
Now Tony Stewart went in 15th and is 22nd right now.
Well,
a lot of cars did not hit
You're
because
ahead of
it hit it earlier.
Okay, guys that did not pit. Dave Blaney, Terry Labonte, Jeff Burton, John Andretti, Steve Grissom, Bobby Hamilton, Brett Bodine. Those guys didn't pit.
So he came out 15th, basically, if you look at that.
So that's why leaderboard Burton went in first and came out 11th. He lost a couple of spots on his pit stop. The difference between the inside and outside lanes in smoothness and roughness were significant. Rusty Wallace, among others, suggested they try to smooth that inside lane out. They brought the people in that did the concrete work at Bristol and tried to smooth the inside lane out some.
And they tried to make it better. And at the end of the day, you, the fan, will be the judge. We'll be the judges. And we see Ricky Rudd, the 28 car, trying to get by the 77 of Dave Blaney. Rudd did get a lap back, the 7 car of Casey Atwood got a lap back just a moment ago, so both those cars now just 1 lap down.
And he's going to get another lap back, so he'll be on the lead lap in about another lap.
Blaney in the yellow car is the leader. One of the 7 drivers, check that did not stop in that last caution. Dave?
Alan, I just went down and checked in the 28 pit, and no damage from that early incident where the tire went down, so they're pretty confident that car is still fast as he goes to get another lap back.
But I tell you what, buddy, I don't think we've seen the outside line work as well here at Martinsville in the past few years as it is working today.
Yeah, I agree with you. Right now, it looks like there is 2 lines here. There used to not be 2 lanes here. That second lane was just to keep you from sliding any further.
And you had to get by someone if you were faster, and they did not want you by. Basically, if you didn't get positioned on the front straightaway, if they came downhill, you had to knock them out of the way.
Right.
John Andretti and Jeff Burton trying to move through Terry Labonte. Burton's through. That puts him up to 2nd. Here comes Andretti. Did not stop on the last caution. And he and Terry are racing for now the number 3 position.
And there comes the guy right behind me you saw just a moment ago, Rusty Wallace. He's the guy that did stop. Rusty's got a good ride today.
Yeah, that car is rolling through the middle, and that's something at Martinsville. Boy, if you get a car that'll roll through the middle and see how it gets through the center so much faster. I know those other guys didn't stop, but still, it's getting through the center of the corner. Really good right now.
Rusty was, as I mentioned before, the guy, one of the lead guys, suggesting to the track that maybe they try and take some of the bumps out of that lower lane, where Jeff Gordon maybe not so excited about the work they've done to the track. How about a little counterpoint?
Caution on the track.
Jeffrey Bodine in the 23 car spun around in the corner.
Looks like Jeff got a little help on that deal.
I believe there's a little bumping episode went on prior to that loop.
Well, you know, I talked about that Rusty Wallace was coming up on the back of the field to put guys a lap down. The pack Jeffrey was running in were the pack right in front of the leader. So there was a little pressure there for guys to stay on the lead lap, you think?
Well, now, Ricky, let me tell you that Ricky Rudd and Casey Atwood, both in the 7 car, remember, had flat tires. Both cars 2 laps down. Both those cars now back in the lead lap. All right, here we go. Help. Yes, help.
And that would be that 7 car you were just speaking of.
The aforementioned.
Yeah, and see, there was the leader right there. Rusty just came through. Pit stops, Matt.
The 99 of Jeff Burton is in. They are going to take on 4 tires, no adjustments. Bill.
Rusty Wallace, the race leader, they told him to stop short. They are going to make a track bar adjustment here, but Rusty's still very happy with the car. They're also going to make a track bar adjustment on the 22 Dodge of Ward Burton. Then it's 4 tires and fuel. A lot of congestion here on pit road. Be careful, Burns.
Ryan Newman's board was tightening up at the end of the run, so they're going to make a wedge adjustment to this car, change 4 tires, fill it full of fuel, try to avoid all the brake dust flying around down here. Ryan gets the left sides on, tries to win the race off pit road. It was close, Marty.
Tony Stewart came down pit road intent. He said, if you could get me some more forward bite, we're going to be bad to the bone. Half round to wedge out, and a very slight air pressure adjustment.
Ward Burton gets off pit road first. Looks like he's going to take over the lead once again. As Old Navy presents the Old Dominion 500 from Martinsville. Wallace had been the leader coming onto pit road. They had some troubles, and watch some of these close calls.
Watch as they go off pit road, and the jackman for the 1 car comes out and almost backs into Jeff Gordon, the 24 car. It's so crowded down there. Meanwhile, back to the green.
Ward Burton's the leader. Ryan Newman is second. Jeff Burton third. Robbie Gordon fourth. Bill Elliott fifth. Rusty Wallace out sixth. Jeff Gordon made a second pit stop under the caution. Those reports in a second. First, let's check out the traffic. Kyle Petty there trying to get a lap back. He's in 38th place.
Pretty spiffy right now, getting that lap back. Here's a battle for the lead. Newman on the inside in that 12 car. Is he going to do it? This is good. The 22 car, this cat car we've seen all day long, seems to run the outside groove about as well as anyone. It out, Wally.
Yeah, I think he's hanging there pretty good, especially after the restart. That right front tire has no temperature in it, so for him to hang like that for the first 2 or 3 laps on cold tires is pretty good.
This was supposed to be the benefit of the track grinding in the bottom lane, to equal out the 2 lanes and make for good side-by-side racing.
And if you watch Ward, he keeps those left sides down, like we were talking about, right where that track was grooved, so it's working for him anyway.
Here comes Jeff Burton for second.
Now, the 12 car could not get the grip on the inside to pass Ward. Can Jeff get the grip on the inside to pass 12? Yes, he did.
Very nice. So the Burton brothers from South Boston, Virginia, just up the road from here, out in front. Bill Elliott, Tony Stewart, 9 and 20, racing for 6th and 7th.
How about that? Tony Stewart, what a terrific run he's had.
His car is right. Those guys were right down in the garage area. His car looks pretty strong.
Gap was 97 coming into the day. Stewart right now running in 7th. Jimmy Johnson, 48 car, running back in 17th. Mark Martin running in 13th.
Ryan Newman all of a sudden is losing not only the lead, but he's lost the 2nd spot, the 3rd spot. He's back to 4th.
Manufacturers Championship, 5 races to go. Ford and Chevy have won 10 races apiece.
And Jeff Godin, who's a lap down, just went by Ryan Newman.
Now, here comes Rusty Wallace in that 2 car. He went into pit road with the lead. He came out in 6th place. Had a little problem on his stop. Bill, what happened there?
Well, it's something that we're probably going to see throughout the day, Alan, because this pit road is so congested, everybody trying to get the job done just a tick faster. They had a lug nut hang on the left front tire. Had to go back and hit it again. That slowed up the stop, dropped Rusty all the way back to 6th on the restart. And Jeff Gordon had to come to pit road for a second visit. His problem was on the left rear on the 24 car. Gordon had a lug nut that wasn't tight enough when he left. The guys called him back, tightened the lug nut, topped it off with fuel, and sent him back. That put him deeper in the field.
Yeah, put him all the way back to 35th. He's picked up 2 of those spots now and runs in 33rd place.
We have a brake camera on board Mike Skinner's Kodak Film Chevrolet, and we'll show you just how much heat, how much pressure is applied to those right front brakes. Off the corner, we see Skinner's pretty good. It's nice and cool. When he gets corner, hits the brakes, we see the rotor instantly turn cherry red. But I'm impressed. Mike Skinner is not using a lot of brakes. Very nice, Mike. If he was using a lot of brakes, it would be that color all the way around the racetrack.
Yeah, like I said earlier, another thing that really helps today on the brakes is the temperatures. Nice, cool day today. That gives those rotors a little bit of a chance to cool off. But if you're not using a lot of brake, like Mike is not using a lot of brake, that means this car's rolling through the center pretty good.
And we always talk about negative camber. In other words, the tire leaned in at the top. One reason they do that, watch the bottom of this tire when he gets to the corner, and we put a lot of pressure on. Watch how it tries to roll under. Well, that's taking that negative camber out. It's making the entire tire make contact with the racetrack, the fact that it's leaned in on the top.
So Mike Skinner in the Kodak car, 25th place right now. Under caution here at Martinsville after Bobby Labonte got knocked around off turn 4. Ward Burton, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jeff Gordon were the 3 that didn't pit. And let's check out what brought out the yellow.
Jeff Gordon comes off the backstretch. Jeremy Mayfield, 19 car. They go down in the corner, and a little contact between Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte. Well, Labonte does a great job, does a 360. And all that smoke there, NASCAR said, we better have a caution flag.
Gordon, Earnhardt Jr., and Ward Burton stay on track. We are under caution in Martinsville.
Traffic jam on pit road.
Oh, that's close.
Boy, I guess, and I think Tony Stewart, it would have been real close who would have got out first if Tony Stewart got hung up behind the 7 car. The 7 car was coming into his pit, and Tony Stewart had to jam on the brakes and just missed him.
All right, what put us under caution?
Kurt Busch spinning out. Who caused it?
24
Looks like Jeff Gordon. He's 2 for 2.
Play.
Well, a little frustrated since he's not in the best frame of mind about track conditions today to start with.
There you see, he drives down on the inside.
Did he hit the curb?
Hit the curb and shot the car off the racetrack just a little bit, yep.
All right. Kurt Busch is driven away. Jeff Gordon is back in 16th place under the yellow. Just back underway in Martinsville. Ward Burton is the leader. Tony Stewart second. Robbie Gordon third. Jimmy Spencer fourth. And Ricky Rudd has rallied all the way up to 5th. 30 car Jeff Green, tail end of the lead lap. He got his lap back from the leader, getting the jump on the restart.
And now the 21 car of Elliott Sadler is trying to do the same thing.
I don't know the 21. Like I said, it takes Ward about 3 or 4 laps to get some heat in that front tires, and then that high groove seems to work for him. But the first couple laps, he doesn't have any grip up there.
And meanwhile, Tony Stewart, all he and Robbie Gordon can do is just kind of sit there and wait until this is decided. Okay, it's decided, but now Tony's got to get by the 21 car and figure out if that bottom groove, if he can run on the bottom well enough to get by the 22.
Looking out the side of the Elliott Sadler car. Farther back, 12 of Newman, 10 of Benson, 2 of Wallace, 8 of Earnhardt Jr. This is 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Ricky Craven is also in the mix, the winner here last week in that tide ride.
You know, you watch these races and try and figure out who's the hot car at the moment, who's got the momentum. Somebody looks like... Wow, how about that?
Well, I was just going to say, Rusty keeps running up the racetrack into Earnhardt. What he's doing is he's trying to move Dale out of the groove, so to speak. And I think Earnhardt finally had enough of it. And that's exactly what Robbie did when he got by Little League as well. And all you're trying to do is you're trying to break that guy's momentum a little bit. You're trying to drive into his door, slide him up the racetrack. Unless he comes back underneath him.
And you see those Goodyears on the right side of that 2 car. Normally, there's some yellow paint. It's all gone.
Yeah, see, now Rusty stayed down on the low side that time.
Up ahead, you see Newman has gotten by Benson, 12 and 10. Now Rusty to the inside of Johnny. And there's the lap car of Elliott Sadler, 41st place, the first car 1 lap down. Let me mention that coming to that last caution, Jeff Bodine got a lap back from Ward Burton. He's on the lead lap now.
Dale Jr. took a dive down the inside, but now he's got the 21 on the low side, so decided up. Now I know why Rusty pulled up there in the first place.
How about 4th place? Jimmy Spencer, Ricky Rudd there. Spencer with it. Rudd trying to take it.
How about that 28 car? What an impressive run that Ricky Rudd is having today.
He pulls off a good finish today. I feel a Golden Benny nomination somewhere in the mix.
Man.
Now, coming to that last caution flag.
Oh, Jeff Burton in the wall.
Look at the damage now that Jeff Gordon has on his left front fender.
I said Jeff Burton. I think it was Jeff Gordon that hit the wall so hard. Yes, it was. He's slow. Jeff Gordon is slow.
Well, Jeff Burton,
Right front down.
didn't Jeff Burton run into him, though?
Left front is rubbing the tire is rubbing the fender, but I think he made contact with it.
Look at that right front. That doesn't look like it's at the right angle, does it?
No, well, there is a lot of camber in that right front, but he may have a lot more now.
Get that left front fender clear. Left side and get that fender clear.
Except you can't get to pit road.
But it looked like Jeff Burton came up and ran into Jeff Gordon, and that's why Gordon went into the wall.
That could be.
Let's take a look at it again here. Watch the 99 car on the bottom. You see Jeff up top. Jeff gets a little bit sideways, runs into the 24 into the wall.
So I guess Burton is who did the damage to the left front fender.
Right, and turned Jeff into the wall.
All right, we're just past halfway, and Jeff Gordon is on the pit lane under green, Bill.
Well, if you think he didn't like this place before, it's a safe bet he doesn't like it all now. It'll be 4 tires. Robbie Loomis been on the radio, told him to make sure you pull that sheet metal out. They're able to get the jack underneath there. They'll change the tires. Topped it off with fuel. Didn't need that much because they were all just here. But this is the first of the championship contenders to take a big hit today. He'll fall a couple of laps down. Now, Rudd made his up. We're only halfway through. Maybe Gordon can make it up, but this is a long stop and the lap's clicking by.
And they're looking at the right front like, what kind of problem have they got over there? I guess they determined they don't have too much structural damage, so they'll go ahead and change left side tires and try to get that fender out.
They'll look underneath there. They look on the left side, too, but they look there to see if there's any damage. Might as well fix it while we're here rather than have to come back in. Trouble.
And trouble off turn 4. Big cloud of smoke.
Bunch of cars emerging out of that. Bobby Labonte, one of the last cars to emerge.
And they come back around to the caution. Elliott Sadler is going to get back on the lead lap.
One of the first indications that you have something bent is the way your steering wheel is pointed.
Yeah, right.
And that's one thing Jeff Gordon can tell the guys, hey, my steering wheel's off, which means your toe is out or something's bent in the suspension. Looks like that may have been, yeah.
He was the one that did the flying 360 and threw up the cloud of smoke. But Jeffrey Bodine was, and let's take a look at what put us under this yellow flag number 8.
We've seen 3, and we got Jimmy. Easy, Jimmy. Attaboy, Jimmy.
Oh, just a touch. Just a touch. Jeffrey does a great job, does a 360, and somebody went by and took off that right front fender cap.
That was Dale Jarrett. Green flag, most of the leaders did not stop under the caution. Ricky Craven is out in front. 38 cars on the lead lap. First one a lap down, Mike Wallace in the 14. We're just past halfway. Is it too early to mention the record for most number of cautions in a Martinsville race?
Nah.
Since we're at 8 now?
We didn't do the over-under either.
No. Record would be
15.
You're close, 17.
And we've how many now? 8? 8. How do you make that?
I'm not so sure I'm on that side of that one with you, BP.
About 11 and 12 is all we're going to have.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sanity's going to prevail here one of these days.
I like the 15 number.
15.
I think that's the ballpark we're in. Got some unique camera angles in some of these cars here at the short track. Remember, BP, you said that camera on the side of Todd Bodine's car wouldn't live today?
It was right about between the 2 and the 6. When I walked through the garage this morning, I told the guys, I said, that camera's not going to make it. Watch.
You were right.
It's gone.
Lights out. Uh-oh. Caution is out for debris. No, it is not the camera.
Is it maybe something off the 99?
And the caution all the leaders wanted to see to make those pit stops is here.
And here they come down pit road, led by Ricky Craven, Johnny Benson, Ricky Rudd, and You see Jimmy Johnson moved into the 4th spot. Here they come, Matt.
And Benny, the 97 car, Kurt Busch is going to stop a little short. That way he has an easier exit. They're going to make a wedge adjustment. The car is tight. To Marty.
Remember, Tony Stewart had the right front fender damage. Now he's got a little left front fender damage to match it, but it shouldn't hurt the tire. It will not rub. Car's fine. Bill?
The great run continues for Johnny Benson. An air pressure adjustment in his tires just to try and improve the handle a little bit. Burns.
Ricky Craven's car shows damage, but for the leader, it's been smooth sailing. 4 tires, no changes. The crew finishes up. He leaves pit road.
Craven's out first. Benson will hold second.
How about Kurt Busch moved into 3rd? In comes Jimmy Johnson.
Bobby Labonte picked up some spots on that stop, too.
And Marty talked about fender damage, and we all the time talk about those fenders, what kind of friends they are for downforce. Watch these fenders on the 20 car in this little deal.
Yeah, you got in the middle of a sandwich.
Between 88 and the 8. The 8 spun the 19 car of Jeremy Mayfield, and watch these cars as they come off the corner, and watch those front fenders and how much damage is sustained by Tony Stewart. But he has no downforce of those front fenders.
That would be caution number 10 of the Old Dominion 500. Green flag is up in the Old Dominion 500. Ricky Craven leads. Johnny Benson second. Kurt Busch third. Jimmy Johnson up to 4th. Ward Burton is 5th.
Here is where it gets tough, Benny. If you're back around 11th or 12th and you got to get by all these lap cars, you can lose a lot of time on the leader because Craven got a great start.
He certainly did, because he's starting on the outside. He jumped the guy on the inside. If you start in 11th with 2 cars on the inside, that means you're basically starting 22nd. And by the time you weave your way through this traffic, Ricky Craven's going to say, see ya.
Still a lot of smoke coming on for Robbie Gordon's right front.
Robbie's the first car 1 lap down. He is in 29th place. Trying to get that lap back from Craven. 28 on the lead lap. Pit stop order shuffled up some. Ricky Rudd lost some ground. Tony Stewart lost some ground. Bobby Labonte gained some. Bobby's up to 7th. Stewart's back to 9th. Rudd back to 10th. He was 3rd when the caution came out.
When did that smoke come off there, BT? Like 3/4 way through the corner of Robbie's car.
Look at all the marbles, too, up in that upper part of the racetrack now.
Just when it looked like Johnny Benson's car was starting to get a little bit better than Ricky Craven's, then the caution flag came out.
Craven back to 3rd, beginning to fall into the clutches of Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. Change for 8th position. Ricky Rudd trying to pick up some of the spots that he lost earlier.
And meanwhile, battle for the lead. The 97 car, Kurt Busch, is right there as they try to get through traffic. Benson, the 10 car, the leader on the outside. Busch on the inside. Who is it going to be?
You may see some chrome horn work here, BP.
Well, Hermie Sadler gets
Got out of the way.
So Kurt Busch is now the leader. First time all day he's led. He started 36th.
And what did Bill Weber say to stop the show? That Lee Petty won this race from 24th or 21st or something?
24th.
Man.
Because he looked it up.
That's why you and I didn't have to.
That's right.
Because he did.
So Kurt Busch out in front now. Remember that Kurt's only NASCAR Winston Cup win came on a half-mile track. That was at Bristol back in April. 4 previous Martinsville starts for Kurt Busch. 3 finishes in the 30s. And he finished 10th here in April of this year. And he's not wasting any time getting away from Benson either.
Oh, if anything, his car, well, he had the rear of the car sliding, so it may be a little bit loose here.
Championship standings, Tony Stewart running in 11th, Jimmy Johnson running in 4th. The gap was 97 between the two starting the day. And For a while, it looked like it was going to grow, but all of a sudden, Stewart's not as strong as he was earlier, and Johnson seems to have gotten better.
Well, Bill, you know, I was not in the car with Bill, and I will effort to find that for you, but just wanted you to know how much he'd done the last time in terms of speed.
I got you.
Well, let's tell you,
Yeah,
he got hit.
We just saw it. I think that was the 25 car that was outside of him.
Let's see.
I think the...
On board with Mark Martin, we'll see. Yep. Hey, Dave, he made contact with the 25 car coming off turn 4, and when he swung to avoid the 25, he hit the inside wall.
Pass it on.
Well, there you go.
Car going.
Green.
Well, that was Donnie Epley trying to get his driver pumped up. Spotter for Ricky Craven.
Ken Schrader, 36 car, first one a lap down, 26th place. Trying to hang in there and see if he can get one back next caution flag. No, I say next caution flag.
Why would you say that?
Because I don't think we're done, do you?
How many are we up to? 12? 12. Now, like I said, this is when guys are... Tempers are just, you know, they're not going to put up with a lot of give and take. Mostly take.
Benson clears the lap traffic.
Rebecca's rookie challengers, Jimmy Johnson, 48, Ryan Newman, 12 car, side by side.
Two tires not working out there for Newman, VP.
Not too good. Give it to Johnson right now. Here comes Junior on the outside. Big squeeze off 4. Off 2, I should say.
Rusty Wallace, Bobby Labonte just behind them. This would be for 6th and 7th place. Ooh. Good thing we didn't have one of those side mount cameras on those cars.
You see Joe Nemechek of the 25 car down on the bottom of the racetrack. He was on the outside the last time when Bill Elliott had tried to pass him and they made contact. Elliott hit the inside wall. I wonder if NASCAR called and told him to get down on the inside and let these cars go.
Not that I heard. Of course, you know, he had to go to the inside for the double up on the restart because he's a couple laps down, actually 3 laps down.
And then he just has not been able to find a spot where he fits in on the outside line.
Here's Junior working on Jimmy Johnson. Going to be for 5th place here. Not quite. Yes.
Yeah, these guys, they're bouncing off each other.
Ward Burton just ahead of them, lead lap. 19 car Jeremy Mayfield is not. He's 3rd car 1 lap down in 28th place.
All right, Junior gets it done, gets by Jimmy Johnson.
$86,000 at Martinsville today, all on their feet as we get to these final laps. 9 to go. Benson trying to close in. He's never won a Winston Cup race in 223 tries. Kurt Busch trying to pick up his 2nd career victory. He did it on the half mile at Bristol back in the spring of this year. Today he started 36th. He's trying to finish it off. He took the lead at lap 389. Steve Park, 16th place car, last on the lead lap, next ahead. There's a lot of traffic there, Benny.
Oh, there's so much traffic there. And which line do you take? Park lets Kurt Busch go by on the outside. That's an advantage for him.
And still Benson stalks.
Kurt just can't pick the wrong lane here with 7 to go.
I mean, if he picks the wrong lane for a slow car, he is going to run 2nd. Harvick very nicely moves over, let both those guys go by.
5 laps to go when they come back around. A season of frustration for Johnny Benson and his team. Sat out 5 races due to injuries, 10 finishes in the 30s. Desperately wants his first Winston Cup win. He's finished 2nd before in his career. That won't mean much. 2 second-place finishes in his past. He wants the W.
Todd Bodine right in front of these cars. Which line is he going to take? Is he going to make the 97 go to the inside? Yes, he does.
Oh, he's leaning on him.
Contact, leaning on him.
Here comes Benson. Don't forget, Bodine was put on probation by NASCAR this week for the rest of the year.
And right now, the 97 car seems to be slow. He could not get off that corner. The 26 drove away from him. And now the only choice he has to run to the inside, try to block the inside.
I said Johnny Benson doesn't like contact in his racing. Will he want that first win enough to use the bumper on Kurt Busch and move him out of the way?
No, he won't.
That's James Ince, the crew chief, talking to Johnny Benson. Kurt Busch wide. Benson tries to cut low.
He's there. Benson is there. But not quite.
But where's he going to... Oh!
Contact there.
No, I don't think it was contact. Kurt Busch just got sideways getting into the corner.
The white flag will be up when they come back. The Ryan Newman car going a lap down in 15th place. Final lap in Martinsville, half mile to go. Is it win 2 for Kurt Busch or the first victory for Johnny Benson?
Well, Kurt's got nobody in front of him right now, so I know that he's probably a little bit happy about that.
He got away from him off 2. Final shot, final corner. Benson can't get close enough. Winston Cup win number 2 for Kurt Busch. He takes the Old Dominion 500.
And Kurt Busch sitting in the car now ready to climb out. After his second NASCAR Winston Cup win in his young career, he had never led a lap at Martinsville. Today, he led a bunch of them, including the last one. Wow, that was wild.
Who hates this place more than me?
Do you like this place?
I don't know. I don't know what it takes to get around here yet. And we kept loosening the car up to get forward bites, so I have no idea what that means. And a special thanks to Rubbermaid and Jimmy Fenning, these boys. This Ford was awesome. We could just put it down. We could run long runs. And it's just been a long time since I got Rubbermaid into victory lane. I got Sharpie earlier. But who knew about these short tracks? I have no idea why we run so good at these short tracks, and I like the mile and a halves.
You had traffic and the 10 car to contend with at the end of the race.
He was pretty stout. He's very hungry. And I got by him in lap traffic, so I was hoping that we could keep to that. Make sure that we maneuvered through there and got the right moves, but it's just an awesome pit stop. We came in 9th, went out 3rd, passed the 2 guys, came out in the lead, and on that last stop, it's just awesome. It feels so good.
Here are the results from today's Old Dominion 500. Kurt Busch with his second NASCAR Winston Cup win from 36th starting spot. Jimmy Johnson, good run to 6th place. Rusty Wallace, I'm sure kind of disappointed with 9th.
Yeah, a lot of these guys were really strong towards the first part of the race, and they just didn't have it at the end.
Championship leader Tony Stewart wound up 11th. And Mike Bliss, last car on the lead lap in that 40 car. Ryan Newman got lapped just in the closing 2 laps of the race. He finishes 15th, another one of the championship guys. Casey Atwood, he also had that flat tire just like Ricky Rudd did early. He came back one of his 2 laps, wound up finishing in 21st place. That's not bad. Actually, at one point, it made both the laps up and was on the lead lap. Jeff Gordon, lap 250, got squeezed into the wall in some contact. Lost those 3 laps, getting repairs made to his car. 36th place. His championship bid over. Think so?
Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay.
I'll step out there.
Glad you've taken a stand on that. And the only 2 cars to fail to finish, Bill Elliott and Hideo Fukuyama, both involved in accidents. 12 cautions for 65 laps today. 9 leaders changed the lead 12 times, and now we check the championship standings with only 4 races to go. It was 97 to start the day. Jimmy Johnson gaining 15 on Tony Stewart. All right, Pepsi race recap. What happened in Martinsville today? Rain held off. After the pre-race ceremonies, we got it going before a sellout crowd of 86,000. Ricky Rudd, early on, the cut tire at lap number 6 cost him 2 laps, and the mayhem ensued from there. They traded paint, they bounced off each other, they tore most of the bodies off of these cars. Not to worry because they had to cut them off and get them ready for next year's rule changes anyway, but still. Bobby Labonte getting nudged by Jeff Gordon, flying 360. Bobby came back for a 12th place finish. Eventual winner Kurt Busch, flying 360, came back for the victory. That spin was back at lap 206. Troubles on pit road for Dale Jr. There was the lap 250 incident that put Jeff Gordon on pit road for 3 laps. Jeffrey Bodine knocked around. Jeremy Mayfield knocked around, and watch your championship leader get sandwiched in there. Fukuyama, his crash took him out of the race. That was late though. That was at lap 409. And then Bill Elliott out of the race at 426. In the end, Johnny Benson trying to catch Kurt Busch in caution, but the Cat in the Hat gets another win, and Kurt Busch has won the Old Dominion 500 at Martinsville.